Patrick, happy Thursday to you, my friend. What's happening?
Not much. I'm getting ready for another road Buckeye game.
Yes.
Headed to Madison, as I think I've said before when we've talked about it, one of my favorite Big Ten places. So.
Austin said that same thing on Tuesday.
Yeah.
He said maybe the best road destination in the Big Ten.
Yeah, it's great. The Spotted Cow and other beer selection is a big part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Probably for both us.
Never had one. I've never had a New Glarus beer.
If I wasn't flying, I would bring you some back.
Do you have anyone who you know that is driving that could maybe mule some back for me?
Yeah, I can see what I can do.
Okay.
For you.
You have connections.
Yeah, it's just Madison's a real fun time. I think people think of it as a college town, and it is, but it's also the state capital. So there's a lot going on in Madison, but football game days in Madison. Awesome.
The only other thing that I know about the University of Wisconsin than Madison is that they had a Top Chef season, and it was all in Wisconsin. And I realized that Madison is just on a giant lake. I know nothing about the geography of Madison, Wisconsin. Never been. I know you guys love it. I know that the university obviously is there. It is the capital of the state. They got some great breweries around there. Also some awesome dairy. Had no idea it was located on a gigantic lake. It looks awesome.
Yep, it's fantastic, especially when it's warm out. This time of year should be really nice. I'll probably get a little cool. I haven't looked at the weather for the weekend, but I think it'll be great. But I've been there all times of the year. Wow. Including the winter when it gets real messy. I once drove back from Madison with a buddy of mine, and I thought we were going to die.
Yeah, that's smart.
Chicago Joe, you know Chicago.
Oh, yeah, I do know Chicago Joe. You and him in a car thinking you're going to die? No, that doesn't sound like you guys.
It's normally 7-ish hours probably. It took us 12.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. You guys were delayed quite a bit. Yeah, that my wife took a visit there when she was in high school, going around looking at schools, and she loved it. I think she went late in the spring, almost summertime, and her mom said, if you were really thinking about going to Wisconsin, we need to come back in December or January or February to see if you really want to come here, because it is much different. Next segment, we're going to get to hear from Ryan Day. He had his coach's show a little bit earlier today, right here on these airwaves. Patrick, what's your biggest burning thought about the Buckeyes as we've now crossed the threshold of the halfway point of the season for the Buckeyes?
I think it's got to be this run game, and not to take a negative tone, because I think there are a lot of positives. And I think also it should be pointed out, this team is undefeated.
Yeah.
They're the number one team in the country.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot of things wrong, or a lot of things right, excuse me. But as you and I talked about even before the season, we're so close to it that we nitpick, and everyone nitpicks around here.
Yes, we do.
And so the run game, and I'm not even sure this is nitpicking, but it has not been up to par. You look at the numbers and where they rank nationally, where they rank in I think they're 9th in the Big Ten in rush yards per game.
It's top 50%.
That
or
is.
Bottom 50%, depending on how you look at it.
But if you were Ohio State, I think you expected to be higher up. Now, Ryan Day keeps saying words like solid and efficient and things like that. If he's okay with it, I guess I'm okay with it, but watching it...
You have no choice.
Yeah, right? I can't change it. But watching it does not look like it is as efficient and solid as Ryan Day says. And I think there is no one or two things, when I watch back these run plays, that it seems to be different on each play. Sometimes it's the running back. Sometimes it's the blocking. Sometimes it's a tight end not getting where he needs to be. Sure. Sometimes I think it's the play call, frankly. And... I think this has been the biggest.
Sometimes it's a defender making a great play.
Yeah, that happens too. Fair
your
play
nose
to them.
right in the hole, blowing it up.
I do think this has been the biggest, where I've noticed the most, the departure of Chip Kelly. And, not to take anything away from Brian Hartline,
sure,
but Chip Kelly been doing it for a long time.
Well, and he was a mastermind at the run game too.
Yes,
I know that we all think, in the back of our brains, when you hear the name Chip Kelly, you're like, high-flying, explosive offense out at Oregon. They ran a play every 14 seconds or whatever it was when they were at, the height of their powers. Yeah, we know that. But also Chip Kelly was a genius at the run game.
Yes.
You go look at everywhere that he has been, number one priority was a master plan in the run. And I don't think that's you bashing Brian Hartline, us bashing Brian Hartline. That guy forgets more football than we will ever know, had a plan and a diagnosis for every defense that he's seen, how to attack it with the run. This is Brian Hartline's second stint as offensive coordinator in a 3-year period, and he's back calling the plays. I don't think that's anything crazy to say, that it may be a downgrade in the run game from Chip Kelly. He's one of the best to ever call run plays in college football.
Yeah, and I think credit also to Justin Frye. Obviously, he was the offensive line coach, but also helped a big part with the run game. And I think they're still just figuring it out.
Yeah.
Tyler Bowen's new. Mm-hmm. He's done this before, but he's new to Ohio State, new to these players. Brian Hartline, obviously the first time play calling, and we know his specialty was on the passing receiving end, and he's worked hard to learn the rest of the stuff. He's talked about that this year. Yeah. So, I think it will come together. But if you're expecting it to come together on Saturday, go look at where Wisconsin ranks nationally.
They're very good.
Yeah, they're number 9, I believe, nationally in run or going against the run. So we'll see. I think there are some things. I think this is probably a priority, even though Ryan Day is not going to say that publicly, to get this right. I would think that maybe you get through this game, you should be able to win this game without necessarily needing to run the ball like crazy. And then you have
They're going to come out and try to swing, though. I mean, they're going to try to come out and punch you in the nose.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially with Luke Fickell coaching maybe for his job.
Yeah.
But I think that the off week is a good time to really look into, what can we do better? What's working? What's not working? And I think it's a good time to have that.
So we'll hear from Ryan Day coming up here in our next segment. Big college football news today. We obviously know that the Penn State job is open. That opened last Sunday after Penn State suffered their third loss in a row at home, homecoming weekend to Northwestern. They swiftly fired James Franklin. We have heard rumors abound, right? Who's interested in taking the Nittany Lion job and going over there?
You got to ask Ryan Day, right?
To Happy Valley. I guess if you're Heather Dinich, you got to ask, right? Is Ryan Day happy here in Columbus? I don't know. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Who in the world could know? Kirby Smart, you got to ask him too. All these different people. I'm quite sure that they were interested in asking one Curt Cignetti, a.k.a. Sig, a.k.a. Mr. Google Me, because I win. That they were interested in asking him about the potential opening. Matt Rule also in there being a former Nittany Lion himself. Well, today, Indiana head coach Curt Cignetti agreed to a new 8-year contract with an average annual compensation of approximately $11.6 million. It will run through the end of the season through 2023. One incredible job by Curt Cignetti. His story is awesome. He was on Saban's staff down at Alabama. He bet on himself and said, hey, I would like to be a head coach. I don't know where they would want me to be a head coach, so he went to Division II. All right? Took a monster pay decrease. And then he was very successful in Division II, came up the ranks, went to Division I, obviously had mega success at James Madison when they flipped to D2 to D1. And then what he's done in Indiana the last 2 years or year and a half has been nothing short of incredible. So, number one, good job out of Curt Cignetti. Number two, good job out of Indiana. You found someone to pump life into what was a lifeless football program for forever, right? One of the losingest programs of all time. And then three, bad job out of Penn State. You lost your guy. I don't know if Curt Cignetti was their guy, but one of them, I guess you did get Curt Cignetti paid. So, yeah. Congratulations, Penn State, on helping out the Big Ten. Keep their coaches in the conference, not for you.
How many coaches do you think will get a pay raise because of this Penn State job being open?
I think a fair amount. If Matt Rule truly means what he said yesterday, or maybe it was on Tuesday during his press conference, I don't remember. It was either Monday or Tuesday. Where he said, hey, listen, this is a great program. We have a lot of good guys here. We're excited for the next year with them. Dylan's coming back. We're all very excited here. I know I'm a Penn State guy. If you're Nebraska and you think that Matt Rule can bring Nebraska back to life as to your illusions of grandeur of what you had in the 80s and 90s, if you really think Matt Rule is the guy for you, you have to pay him, don't you? You have to give him a contract extension.
Yeah, I mean, I look, these guys all have agents, and the agent's job is to get them as much money as possible, whether he's looking to leave or not. So I think so.
Manny Diaz?
Yeah. Was Curt Cignetti actually looking to leave?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But if you have the opportunity to become the third highest paid coach on an average annual salary.
It's Kirby Smart, it's Ryan Day, now it is Curt Cignetti, the head football coach at Indiana.
Yeah, and then Lincoln Riley, who hasn't won.
These are last year's numbers.
Yeah. But Fifth, I believe, is Dabo. So 3 of the top 5 have won national championships. The other one is coached at 2 major programs, and the fifth is the Indiana football head coach. Football head coach.
Yes, not basketball.
Which
football.
I think the fact that he has made football relevant there,
it's great.
Makes this worth it, at least in some capacity. You eventually will have to get Indiana to a point. Now, I know they just went out and beat Oregon, so credit is due there. But
one of the best resumes in college football.
Yes, but you're going to have to go and you're going to have to beat true blue blood when it matters. Like Ohio State late last year, they couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. Notre Dame in the college football playoff, they couldn't do it.
Might be on a head-on collision to see them in their stomping grounds in Indy.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Look, I will be very interested to see if that does happen, and it's unfortunate that those colors are so. Yeah, I was gonna say so similar, but the breakdown there, I bet it would be pretty 50-50 because Ohio State fans.
Well, they haven't been since 2020, and the last time they went in 2020, Indiana kind of got screw jobbed. Remember that?
State.
Because there was a weird tiebreaker rule, and you got to play X amount of games, but Ohio State didn't.
Buckeye fans say the Big Ten hates Ohio State.
Yeah, no, that would be great if we could sign up for an Indiana-Ohio State Big Ten championship game. I think a lot of people would sign up for that. The Buckeyes, they're going to get Luke Fickell and the Badgers' best shot on Saturday. You're going to hear from Ryan Day about the game this weekend coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.